And so it begins. We are here in our shared workspace setting up because it is go time. It is time to build our Expedition enclosure. We're going to be building a hardtop connected to our hard dodger, connected to our dinghy davit setup on the back, which is all covered in solar panels. And today we are getting started. We are going to get around to this monstrosity behind me, not this one, this one. But before that, we need to figure out how we're actually going to be doing our layup and using our new supplies. For example, our vacuum bagging. We've never done vacuum bagging before. So I need to unbox it, assemble it, and then do a test piece because we don't know how much vacuum to use, for example.
And I headed out of town this past week to go visit some family, so I was gone for most of the filming of this video, which means you guys get Brett all to yourselves while he tinkers and figures out the vacuum, and then hopefully soon teaches me how.
Yep.
Okay, so enjoy the video. Oh, and since we know you guys love hanging out with Brett all by himself, he has, why don't you go ahead?
Sure. Thank you, Jade, for that amazing intro. Expedition Engineering has been launched. The very first video will come out on Wednesday. So if you want to check that out, if you like hanging out with me, if you want to see more Brett messing with things, breaking things, fixing things, Expedition Engineering is the name. So youtube.com/@Expedition Engineering.
Enjoy it.
Anyways, yeah, hey, you get a video with me now for a while. Let's go hang out.
Yeah, consider this your teaser for Expedition Engineering.
Today's an interesting day because I'm doing two things, well, maybe doing two things. I'm moving all our stuff from this bay to that bay, and then that bay should be the bay that we stay in long term. I think I might try doing some vacuum bagging tonight. Oh, and you might be wondering where Jade is. Jade went and visited her family. She had a family thing going on. We did get an exciting delivery today. Not this. This is old fiberglass. This is fiberglass from the original build that we have been hauling around the world with us, just in case we need a chunk of fiberglass. It probably weighs 30 pounds, maybe. This is the wood that I bought. And it's really, really small wood. I bought it, and it's all in centimeters and millimeters, and the store I bought it from, some of the stuff was in centimeters, some of it was in meters, some of it was in millimeters, and I am not very good at the metric system, and so I expected these to be at least 3 times this size. It doesn't need to be structural, it just needs to hold the plastic. So everything in here is so dusty. Wood dust and concrete dust. Concrete dust or cement dust? That's it, with the exception of that trash. We'll throw that trash away tonight. We're moved out. And here's our new home. It's actually kind of cozy. Here it is, our first chunk of carbon fiber. We have 2 different carbon fibers, one a lot heavier weight than the other. Oh yeah, look at that. That is beefy. I don't know if I'm gonna mess with carbon fiber tonight. This is actually really exciting. It makes me like, feel giddy. Cool, guys. Ooh, I'm excited. All right, so next up, I'm going to clean up a little more, figure out what I'm gonna mess with tonight. I don't necessarily need to do anything tonight. I don't know if I have any way of cutting anything except for razor blades. That might make things more interesting. I don't have a wrench, so I'm just gonna hope that hand tight is tight enough for this. Probably not. Oh, look at that, even lined up right side up. How convenient. even opened it up right side up. Aha! When I bought this pump, I had to specify the type of plug that I needed. Do not run without adding oil. See getting striking. Well, I'm glad they put that sticker there. I was about to plug it in just for fun. There you are. So we need to open up that one. Let's try this just for fun. Fun. Decided I'm just going to fiberglass 2 popsicle sticks together. And I realized part of this whole thing was to figure out, okay, what am I missing? And something I realized that I am missing is some plastic just to protect things, but then also acetone. I do not have any acetone, which means I am not going to use the rollers. Epoxy is all done by weight, which is kind of a pain. And it's 100 grams to 30 grams. So it's not even like 3 to 1, it's almost 3 to 1. Also, I don't have any pumps. I don't know if I bought pumps or I should have bought pumps. I'm not trying to be complaining. This is really just me going through all these things and realizing, okay, I need this, I need this, I need this. And because pretty quick, we're gonna be like full-fledged, go, go, go. And we wanna get this done fast. So tonight is a good practice. These look like medical grade gloves. Peel apply. This is huge. We didn't talk about this, I don't think, in the tour. We had several comments asking about it. This is perforated release film. I am not an expert, so if you are an expert, leave comments. Please help on this because this is trial and error. I was talking to her on the phone yesterday, or maybe earlier today, telling her that I was going to come do this. And she said, okay, we'll do a good job because you're going to have to teach me how to do it later. Let me see if I can show you what this is. There we go with this, with the light on it, you can tell. So it has tons of tiny, tiny little holes. That'll allow the vacuum to pull resin through the peel ply, through this fabric, into the bleeder fabric, which is that one, which I'll cut next, and not through this one. This one will be the sealed one. And I'm sure there's some technique, you know, which of these should be bigger than the other. I read somewhere that this is sometimes nicknamed the baby blanket. And I can totally see why. Is that the right word? I think that's the right word. I feel like at some point my mom quilted, and I remember the word batten. Oh, perfect. I am attempting to cut this. Oh, it kind of tears. Oh, there we go. Interesting. Didn't cut myself. Holy moly, this is beautiful fiberglass. Oh, that's going so well. Oh, I thought this was a bag. Here's what we've come up with. I made this little guy, these popsicle sticks that I cut grooves into. Whoa, that's a problem. So here's the order. It's gonna go part fiberglass, 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 then it'll go peel ply, perforated release film, the absorbent cloth, and then the seal. And then I will use the sticky tape to seal it. I'll connect this up onto there, and then I'll hook up the vacuum to it. And when I hook up the vacuum, it's probably gonna crush the whole thing. Hopefully this is reusable, or maybe I need to be a lot more sparing with it. I don't know. I don't really know how this stuff works. I'm just gonna lay the fiberglass on top of it, and we'll see what happens. We don't need very much. Ooh, that stuff's thick. All right, we got 35 grams. 35. So that should be 35 times 30 divided by 100. So we need 10.5. Zero you out again. Ooh, this stuff is thin. Whoa, this is odd. Already not a fan. 10.5. This takes me back. Stirring epoxy. First impressions of Easy Composites. I don't like it. I don't like the drastic difference in consistencies between the resin and the hardener. The resin on this one was like glue, and the hardener was like water. Less than water. Is like gasoline or acetone. Crazy, crazy. How does that work? Viscosity. If something is more viscous, has a higher viscosity, does that mean it's less runny? I just realized I think there's a camera in here. This is just a test. This is just a, I have zero expectations that this is gonna work. Trying out Jade's little mini chair here. It's great. I'm pretty sure I have like 2 days working time. This epoxy has zero smell. I can't smell it at all, which is great. I wonder if I need to be wearing a mask. I don't think so. I don't think it has any VOCs. It wouldn't be a bad idea, just because I mean I am still cutting fiberglass and there's still tiny little fiberglass shards in the air. I'm sure there's a bunch all over the table now. Yeah, no smell. That's huge, especially being in the shared workspace. That was one of my big concerns when I was shopping around for epoxies. I was like, look, I can't have any smell.
With the piece down, I just need to wet out the fiberglass and then one on top of the next, lay out the fiberglass, peel ply, perforated release film, absorbent cloth, and then vacuum film.
I got some peaks going on in the corners like I know you're supposed to do, but I'm sure I did it wrong. And I got this little guy in here, which I definitely know I did wrong because I should have put that in a long time ago. And now I'm gonna seal this all back up and we're ready to vacuum, man. Let's find out what happens. Okay. It's already working. It already vacuumed. Oh my gosh. That was cool. Look at this. Now I can hear air coming out somewhere. We are under a lot of vacuum right now. Sure enough, I did have leaking on each of these corners, so I'll need to work on my corner technique because what I did not work. It leaked. The little X I made there is now being pushed through. I'm excited. I guess I just leave that running all night, I guess. Come back in the morning. I mean, it has to stay under vacuum until it cures, and this stuff doesn't cure for like 24 hours. So, yeah, I'll rearrange the hose a little bit better so that it's a little more permanent. Maybe I'll use some of the tape and tape the hose down. Fun stuff, guys. Woo. That's it. I don't really have much to clean up. I kind of cleaned up as I went. I'm gonna let this run. It just goes, and I'll come back and check it tomorrow. I'll try and bring you with me if I remember. But anyways, thank you guys for joining along as I worked on this little project. Thanks for hanging out with me. Next week we should have Jade back. I hope. I miss her. I'm sure you do too. Thank you so much for hanging out with us as we get everything ready, as we get set up. This is a big undertaking, and I'm nervous. I'm a little scared, to be honest. This is a big deal that has some pretty huge consequences on the boat. I don't know why, but I'm actually more scared to do this project than I was the rebuild of the structure of the backbone of the boat. I don't know why. So thank you so much for being here. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, if you like the channel, please subscribe. We've noticed we've had a lot of comments from people saying that they watch our videos and that they thought they were subscribed or they were subscribed and they have been unsubscribed by YouTube. So do me a favor, just check if you are subscribed, if you want to be subscribed. And yeah, thanks guys. We'll see you next time. I know I already closed this episode, but I wanted to show you this. I swung by the shop this afternoon and there were a bunch of people there working, there's music blasting and stuff like that, so I couldn't really film, but I did take the part out of the bag and I'll show you that. And it came out like this, which probably from this far away looks okay, but it is almost bone dry. I didn't think about this at the time. I didn't think about what would happen if I cranked the vacuum up to 11 like I did. What happens is all of the resin gets sucked out of the part. Go figure. Obviously it does that. That is just like a duh. I mean, of course, but I didn't even think about that. So I just cranked the pressure up and left it. And so yeah, there's like basically no epoxy in this. It is very, very dry. It's holding its form. It didn't stick to the wood, again, because there's hardly any epoxy on this. It didn't stick to the wood, but it does hold the shape. It kind of has the, the X shape in it. Good experimenting. Need to do more experimenting. Anyways, I already know to close the video, and I already said good night, goodbye. One more time, if you liked it, if you liked the video, subscribe. If you want to go check out my channel, it's youtube.com/@Expedition Engineering. I'm not sure why it has the @ sign. I don't know if it's because it's a new channel or why, but it has to have the @ symbol. I don't know if I can change that or not, but that's what it is right now. Anyways, good night.